those unsung heroes. Now, last night, the NHS applause happened again. I think that's going to be a fixture. Now, in theory, that is applause for anybody who's helping the effort to get rid of coronavirus. But I want to hear from you about maybe some unsung heroes, people that we don't think about, don't get enough acknowledgement, don't get enough praise for the work that they do in our society to keep everything running at this time of national crisis. You might want to talk about what the Queen might be saying when she addresses the nation at 8 o'clock on Sunday evening. You might want to tell me about some random acts of kindness that you've experienced over the past few weeks, because I think a lot of people have. I think in some ways this whole crisis has brought out the best in us, but it's also brought out some of the worst in us, hasn't it? When we look at people who just ignore all the warnings about social distancing, who seem to think that this virus can't affect them. Well, if it can affect a 12 or 13-year-old child, by affect I mean kill, it can affect anybody. It's not just old people that are dying from this. If you were listening last Friday, you would have heard some amazing calls from people, and I'm sure we're going to get some more tonight. I remember Cliff in Hoddesdon. If you were listening, you'll remember him. He phoned up only 2 hours after his mother died of coronavirus. Really, really moving call. And his message was for people to obey the rules and to understand what the implications of actions are. Because he said that he hadn't necessarily really understood that it could affect him. Well, Cliff now has gone down with coronavirus. Lots and lots of subjects to talk about, but let's just start off by the only non-caller voice that we're going to hear throughout the next 3 hours, and that is the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, who put out this message earlier this afternoon.
Hi, thanks. Quick update for me on the campaign against coronavirus. First of all, in my own case, although I'm feeling better and I've done my 7 days of isolation, alas, I still have one of the symptoms, a minor symptom of I still have a temperature, and so in accordance with government advice, I must continue my self-isolation until that symptom itself goes. But we're working clearly the whole time on our programme to defeat the virus. You've seen the big announcement yesterday about 100,000 tests per day by the end of the month. And I just want to say one crucial thing, one quick thing to everybody thinking about this weekend and what may be some fine weather, because I reckon a lot of people will be starting to think that this is all going on for quite a long time, and they'd rather be getting out there, and particularly if they've got kids in the household, everybody may be getting a bit stir crazy. There may be just a temptation to get out there, hang out, and start to break the regulations. And I just urge you not to do that. Please, please stick with the guidance now. This country has made a huge effort, a huge sacrifice, done absolutely brilliantly well in delaying the spread of the virus. Let's stick with it now. Remember that incredible clapping again last night for our fantastic NHS. We're doing it to protect them and to save lives. Let's focus on doing everything we can. Stay at home, folks. Protect our NHS. Save lives. Speak soon.
Now, if you've watched that video, you will have seen a Prime Minister who does not look a well man. I wonder whether there are going to be some questions soon as to whether he does need to hand over, albeit only temporarily, to somebody else, because he didn't look as if he would be back at work full-time. And of course, when you're Prime Minister, even if you're ill, you can't switch off, and that inevitably is going to mean that your recovery is delayed a bit. So we'll take calls on that, if you like, as well. Somebody has just texted me, well, Ruth has texted me, in my Devon village we've started bartering. Today I exchanged some spuds for birdseed. A lovely feeling. That's the kind of text I want throughout these 3 hours, because we want to keep a little bit cheerful this evening, don't we? 0345 6060 973. Adam is in Sidcup. Adam, hi.
Oh, hi Ian, how are you?
Hi, how cheerful are you?
I'm very cheerful. I've hidden upstairs away from the children downstairs, so I feel like I'm being a respite.
How's it been? So presumably they've been at home all the time?
Yes, our schools all kicked them out by about 2 weeks ago, and we've tried to homeschool them and get them out for exercise, and funny enough, they're more excited today than they've ever been before, so been doing fantastic cooking, and so maybe it's because it's my cooking time.
I mean, in a sense, I suppose it's just the same as it would be in the school holidays, isn't it? Or are you presumably not at home for that time?
You make it sound less easy. We should all be used to having kids under our feet all the time. It's not. It's intense. I'm trying to work from home, so I'm constantly interrupted. But we find ways of entertaining them and making it a fun time.
Well, your line isn't great, so I'm going to leave it there, but I suspect what you've done is provoked a lot of other people to call in who want to tell me how they're coping with